Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Hi guys, today's pod on the go. It's a half term, so kids are around and have to record in between the drop-off pickups and so on. So sorry about that, but on the move. Yesterday we had a group joining us from a friendly club that's part of our association, and they're getting ready for the grading display. And there was a very interesting question, so I thought I might record about it and see what you think. So the question is, how many application per move in the kata? So how many bunkais? And it depends. So when you are starting your journey and you're doing a basic kata, let's say pinans, then it's a good idea to have set bunkai application for each move, so the students understand what they're doing, how the process works, how you break down those katas and movements. But later when you move into a more advanced katas, then it is up to you really. So when I'm working with my katas, I look at it in 3 ways. So part of it is can the technique be a strike? Can it be a throw takedown? Can it be a joint lock or some sort of a distractions to the joint? And from there you're just taking it as much as you have and as much as you want. So for some movements in some advanced kata, I've got 5-6 movements and applications that I like to use depending on the situation, depending on what I want to achieve in that situation, depending what the partner or an attacker is allowing me, if it's a sporting event or is it a outside on the street. Am I limited by the rules and procedures, or is it all go? But if you're starting, it is good to have a moves prescribed for students so they learn how to decipher the katas and go through them, and then later on they can kind of fluctuate between their chosen. Everybody's different, everybody's got the different abilities and different preferences. For example, myself, I like kind of grappling, I like to be in a control and being close, so I'm using most of the movements as a takedowns or locks and fitting strikes wherever I can to set things up. But for example, my student who are just going for his black belt display is not very keen on grappling, but he's got the perfect control of the distance and doesn't allow anybody to get into the grappling range. and he's mainly operating with strikes and kicks, which is awesome. So in terms of bunkai applications, they're gonna be different for him than for me, and he's gonna be utilizing different weaponry for it, different strategy. So it cannot be that I tell him this is the prescribed movement, you have to do it like this. In the end of the day, he needs to create his own karate, not be a carbon copy of me. We're completely different build. He's bigger, he's heavier, I am smaller and lighter. So for me, things that work not necessarily work for him. And let's say if we look at which kata should we take? Let's take the Pinan 3 or Heian 3, where you've got that elbow in with a step forward. So to give you an example, when I was training in Poland, one of my friends who eventually became a several times world champion in full contact karate, in knockdown style, loved to use that elbow kind of dancing movement as a block to set up a gyakutsuki that landed and you've never seen it, or punch you in the face, because he was covering with the elbow and the other hand was working where you couldn't see it, and it was perfect for him. I sometimes use it as a block, but it's not really something for me. You can use it as a throw. When you're stepping in, you grab somebody's head and you drive that elbow in and it goes down. People go down being thrown, and this is a very common application I see people using, and very legitimate. But for me, I use it as a rip of the neck control. So if somebody's got a hand on my neck, I use that movement to shred that off my neck and get entry to a throw or to a strike. So they've got 3 different applications for that simple move in a kata, and it is up to you which variation you're gonna use, and I'm sure there's gonna be a different options within that for every individual, because if you're a taller, you're gonna be pushing down. If you're shorter like me, you're gonna be going around the circle. So it's kind of unlimited amount of applications for given move. It depends from your ability to perform and your ability to use your brain and situational awareness to what you can fit. If you can fit movements and they are within the principles and frames of the kata, then it's your choice. You can use whatever you want. So you might have hundreds of applications. And when I'm teaching seminars, people often ask me, what's the application for that move? I simply can't remember, because I stopped having a prescribed application. I free flow with my application, and it depending on the partner or his size, her size, depending what we're doing, what's the context, and where I want to take it. And again, if I can take down people because there's soft floor or we are on a hard floor, I am adjusting on the go. And there's simply too many moves to remember all the applications. If you follow the principles and tactics and strategy of your kata and your style, your system, then you're gonna have those available, and the movements actually doesn't really matter. It's whatever been given to you at that time, at that moment, and whatever you can utilize. And pretty much most of the kata have a repeated movement within. So if you look on different kata, the similar movements are done, because it all comes from a few katas. We've all got 2 hands, 2 legs, and move in a pretty similar way. And if you get that principle of self-protection, the kata really works everything pretty similar. So how many bunkais? As many as you want, as many as you wish, as many as you can utilize, and as many as you can fit in your head without taking too much space for individual application, and how many you can remember. It's gonna get loud because of the lorry here, so I think that's pretty much it. So how many bunkai? As many as you want. Well done for listening to all of it. You are a superhero. Thank you very much for your support, and if you could leave us that review on a podcast platform, that would be amazing. I appreciate your time, appreciate your support, and I wish you all the best until the next one.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
If your brain is at full capacity with to-dos, birthdays, and dinner plans, meet Skylight Calendar. It syncs your entire family's schedule onto a sleek digital display, so you focus on important things like where you left your coffee. Right now, Skylight is offering our listeners $30 off their 15-inch calendars by going to skylightcal.com/talk. Go to skylightcal.com/talk for $30 off your 15-inch calendar. That's skylightcal.com/talk.